Okay, hello, it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the weather update. And after a somewhat dreary couple of days, did have some sun, a lot of clouds. Now it's really going to be dreary. Look at those thick clouds there on the screen. You see that is the next storm system that is coming our way, and the rain has already started from this storm system. And we're going to be dealing with a miserable weekend. Unfortunately, there were a number of fairs and carnivals that I noticed that were around that are going to get washed out, unfortunately, as a result of this. And it's just going to be rain chances all weekend long. First, let me go over the past couple of days because I needed to take a little break from the weather update. We'll just show you some pictures of the sky. This was a couple of nights ago. This was yesterday. You can see the sun broke out for a little while, but it was a hazy-looking sky. You could see that. Rather hazy-looking sky. Hopefully you got a chance to enjoy the last of the cherry blossoms because I have a feeling after this rain and wind this weekend, they're going to be washed away. Today, just a gray sky, fairly overcast, getting darker and darker. And I did actually spend some time outside in the afternoon, just before the rain started, at Massapequa Preserve, just for a little bit. Just looking at this gray, overcast sky here that we got, and you can see, looking at the distance, you can see the lower clouds there. That's what you call a rain sky. You know precipitation's coming when the sky looks like that. Sure enough, within about a half an hour, the rain started. And this is what it looked like as the rain was starting today. So let's go look at the current radar. Now, the OKX radar is down, but we already have rain now. It had been raining in Jersey for much of the night, but now we got steady rain. You might hear some fans going because I've got it double trouble tonight. I got them burning incense in the apartment next door, and somebody seems to be smoking weed out there too. So, man, I'm in a throbbing headache as well. So you gotta love it. But anyway, do have rain, and you see the rain there coming in to the picture. We said it has been rain. It had been raining in Jersey much of the day. If we look at the Ventu Sky radar, you'll see that the rain has been over Jersey much of the day. So if we go rewind to noon, you'll see what was going on. So the rain started in Jersey around, I would say, 2 o'clock, and it came down pretty steady already. But we had a little bit of time, and I thought maybe we'd hold this main rain back. And I was looking at the radar, thinking, oh, maybe it's going to get held back. The models were saying it was going to get held back. But then what happens is we get to 5 o'clock, another band of rain pops over us, and the rain actually starts right around 5 o'clock right now. And you can see a band of steady rain there. Coming up here is the 7 o'clock frame and 8 o'clock frame. You can see we've had some light to steady rain across the area, and this rain is going to continue throughout the night, unfortunately. For those who are sick of the rain and don't like this dreary weather, well, this weekend is going to suck for you. And yeah, I don't like this weather. I know we need the rain, but I'd rather get it over with like I did the other night. But this is going to be a whole affair for the whole weekend, unfortunately. Let's go look at your statistics for islip here. We'll go look at our statistics for islip and as far as the highs and lows go. I believe we were below normal, but we'll go over the last couple of daily climate reports here. So, yeah, below normal today by 5 degrees. High was only 55 today. So very chilly as well. Yesterday also only 55 for a high. That was 8 degrees below normal for us. So below normal for the past 2 days. I think we have to go to the other day too, where it was also, look at that, the high was 55 for the past 3 days. And the day that I didn't do the weather update, the 27th, we were 8 degrees below normal for temperature. So, yeah, pretty chilly. And the same would go for Central Park as well, running quite a bit below normal here. You have that east wind and the cloud cover, and just the damp, maritime polar air that we call it. It keeps those temperatures down, and even in the middle of the summer, you can have a day. You have an air mass like this, you don't make it out of the 60s. So let's go look at the weather map here, and yeah, we have some severe weather in Texas. Looks like, again, and there was some severe weather in Florida that I posted. We had heavy torrential rain with hail coating the ground in Melbourne. Some other really bad thunderstorms, including a tornado in the Panhandle. So there's been a lot of active weather in Florida. And I'm sorry I couldn't cover it, but again, I can't always talk about what's going on across the country. let's focus on our weather because we're going to talk about the weather this weekend, obviously. You can see what we've got going on here. 50 degrees, and you can see some of these winds, especially in Jersey. Look at some of these strong winds that we have. Winds gusting up to 31, 33 miles an hour in parts of Jersey already. So that's why we have that small craft advisory in effect, as well as a gale warning for the waters. Looking at the weather map, you'll see we have a high pressure that is departing and a very weak high pressure, but that's still enough of a gradient between that and this deepening low in the mid-Atlantic. You can see 1, 2, 3 centers of low pressure that we have to get through here. And that's why we have the rain chances that are going to linger throughout the weekend here as these lows pass on by. And they're going to take their sweet time as well. So we'll just go over our highs for the day. And you'll see generally mid-50s. It's uniform. That's the way it's been the past 3 days. That's what I mean. There hasn't really been anything that exciting. It's been below normal, lots of clouds. But now we have the rain in place. We can look at precipitation. And we can go and we can look at how much rain has fallen in the past 6 hours. Probably hasn't been that much, but let's see. Parts of Jersey have been close to a half an inch. It's just started here as far as the rain goes. Looking at this radar here, which is another radar we can look at, you'll see here, again, some of that heavier rain. Just off to the west, there's some heavier rain to Pennsylvania, Hazleton, down to Allentown, and then we have all this to get through tonight. Now, I'm hoping there might be a break later on Saturday before the next system comes in. We'll have to see. We're going to look at the models. So let's go to the models now. And first to the Storm Prediction Center, you'll see that area, East Texas, coastal Texas. That's where the severe weather is. So let's go to the models now, and you'll see here. We'll first start with the GFS just to get a general picture of what's happening. And you see there's your low that is approaching us here. And you can see that rain is going to be with us. Hopefully, maybe we get a little bit of a break. You see it on the GFS. But then Sunday, we'll have a heavier... The main area of the heaviest rain is going to be with this much stronger low-pressure system that's surrounding the trough and going to go just west of, I guess, just up over the Appalachians, I guess, this low. So we're going to be on the right side of it, which means warm air. It'll be a warm or tropical rain. Could be some thunderstorms in there. This gets to be a pretty intense low. Look at it. Just move due north like that. And then we try to improve things on Monday. But you'll notice as we look at the following week, we're going to have a similar pattern again with that cutoff low and cold pool deal. Which we'll talk about more Sunday night. So let's take a closer look now at the HRRR model and the 0Z HRRR. So here we go with the 0Z HRRR model. Like I said, this model's been a little bit off, but you'll see the rain continues through the night, and look, it just lingers. In fact, we don't really get rid of it until probably 5 or 6. Look, it keeps popping showers up over us. So we may have constant rain tomorrow. We may not even get out of it at all. It's just the whole weekend. We're trying to piece together a couple of dry patches here, but you'll see you're going to be dealing with that rain. You're going to also be dealing with that wind as well. So it just keeps redeveloping as this area of lift just kind of stays over us for tomorrow. Get a little break, but probably overnight, later tomorrow night, you might have to deal with some drizzle. And then here comes the next round for Sunday with some more rain. This one looks a little more scattered in nature, I notice. Than the steadier rain tomorrow. But we're going to be, you can see, look at that very deep low, and the southerlies, they're going to be ahead of it. So it's going to be a pretty strong LLJ with that. So let's visualize that now. We'll look at the dew points and wind flow. So let's go to that. So you see we have the east winds tonight, so it doesn't really start getting, feel a little, the moisture increase a little bit tomorrow, not too much. You're going to really feel it on Sunday. That's when that southeasterly surge comes in there. Some of that moisture, and then you can see the dew point shoot up into the 50s, and you can see all the barbs there. It means we're going to have some wind as well. So let's look at our air temperatures because there's going to be some warm air with that. So obviously staying chilly tonight, 40s only, and then tomorrow also staying rather chilly. Probably temperatures only going to be, even when it's not raining, going to be dealing with that drizzle, the wind. It's just going to be so nasty out there. Maybe southern Jersey gets a little warmer because that's where that warm front's going to park. But then as we get into, you see the temperatures start rising Sunday night. Now we're going into the 50s, perhaps the 60s on Sunday. Right, that's as far as the HRRR goes. As far as total accumulated precip as of Sunday night at 8 o'clock, you'll see it gives us between 1 and 2 inches. All right, but it's not going to be done yet. There's more to go after that. That's the problem. So we'll go to the GFS now if we want to go beyond that and just show what the GFS has. And you can see we could get over 2 inches in certain spots here. It's kind of out of the range of the short-range models, a lot of them. For Sunday, the later part of Sunday, let me go to the NAM 12. And I'd have to roll it back to the 18Z if I wanted to go a little further. Here's the NAM 12 as far as total accumulated precip. Some areas could get over 3 inches, it looks like, especially Jersey into western Long Island, perhaps, because that second round, the NAM is pretty potent with it. So I'll show you the second round. The first round doesn't look too crazy. You can see it lingering around, though. See what I mean? The NAM just lingers the rain around tomorrow. And then that second round that comes in for Sunday, that could be some pretty heavy stuff right there that winds up coming in. And there could be some thunderstorms with that second round that you see coming in. You can see also the strong southerlies out ahead of it as well. So, yeah, an absolutely crappy weekend, and the rain is just not going to let up at all. It's just, it doesn't look like there's going to be any breaks at all in this radar here, unfortunately. We can look at the NAM 3 from the earlier NAM 3 here at 18Z. You'll see the same kind of deal. So you see what happens. So it just gets in it, and then it just lingers around. We don't get rid of it. And then there's another cluster of heavy showers and thunderstorms that actually pops up around 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And then so it's like it's a complete washout. It's only not raining in the middle of the night. And then here we go for Sunday, where we're going to have this slug of heavy rain come in right in the evening. So, I mean, the whole weekend, you might as well just stay in your house all weekend long, because that's how bad it's going to be. All right? It's unbelievable. And if we let's look at these. I want to look at the F-Gen. Let's do the F-Gen on this to get an idea of the lift that's involved here. And I have to pick the right one to show it to you. All right. I don't usually like using NAM 3 F-Gen. Let's go to NAM 12 F-Gen. And let me change that to... All right, so we're looking at the 850 F-Gen. I want the 18Z, though, right? So this is what we have. So you can see the very strong areas of lift going on. Here's that strong area lift that's right over us tomorrow night, actually. So literally you have that lift going on. That's going to produce more rain. And then you have it for Sunday as well, all right? But the issue tomorrow night, it's just not going to let up. I'm telling you. It's just not going to let up all weekend long. The whole weekend is ruined, pretty much. So let's go to the let's go to another model here we can use. Let's go back to the NAM 3, I think, on this. NAM 3. We have the latest one, so let's see how much of the latest one we've got here. Gives us 25 hours here of the latest NAM 3. But you see the deal here. It's not all coming in yet. You see it's just lingering around. This could be drizzle or light rain, perhaps. Now it's not popping up that convection. It's very hard to gauge what's going to happen here. I think the heavier rain is still on Sunday, on the Sunday event. But tomorrow is going to be pretty damn rainy. That's all I could say. It's going to be pretty damn rainy. Let's go over to Ventus Sky next. And... we'll visualize this on the Ventus Sky, which of course uses the HRRR, but I like it because it's got a higher resolution, so you can look at what it's like tomorrow. So let's go to 3 o'clock tomorrow. So you can see these east winds are pretty strong here, right? You're going to have wind gusts up, look at this, up to 42 miles an hour. So it's a pretty strong wind gusts with this. So you're going to be dealing with the wind gusts, and you're going to be dealing with the rain, precipitation. You see it's just lingering around. It doesn't look all that heavy on the HRRR, but there could still be some heavier cells out there, even indicating a thunderstorm offshore with that wind. And, of course, when it's not raining, you'll be dealing with drizzle. So if we go to cloud cover and hit fog, probably see fog on here. Actually, it's not showing any fog, but there could be drizzle in there. Could be drizzle as well. And, again, chilly. So it's going to feel chilly. It's going to be damp. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be miserable to be outside. So you go from a raw, kind of rainy, damp, drizzly day with intermittent rain, and then you go to Sunday where you're going to get into the heavier stuff and warmer. Let's see what the wind gusts on here on Sunday are. Not quite as strong. Not quite as windy. It seems like it has less wind, but as you get toward the evening, those southeasterlies pick up advect that moisture in, and that's when you're going to be seeing that heavier rain move back into the picture again. And this is what I mean, some thunderstorms possible out there as well. We can go to this, actually. Don't think there'll be any severe thunderstorms, but again, lifted index is some. I mean, I don't think it's the risk is severe, but it could any of these thunderstorms could produce just some very heavy rain, out of it for sure. So let's go to one more here. Go to a few more models here. Go through all of them here if we can. There's the FV3 high res, but I don't think that's. We have 30 hours of that in, so we can look at that, which is the higher resolution GFS, and you'll see it just sits over us because what happens is the warm front sits over us. So if you look at the dew points and wind flow here, you'll see it's almost like a little warm front. It's just sitting there. It's not moving at all because it's still kind of held up by the high. So it's just all locked into place, basically. If I take this to the regular GFS at 18Z, you'll see it's kind of locked into place, and then it moves up, and then we sort of get into that warmer air on Sunday, which gets our temperatures up. All right, but we're still dealing with the rain threats and the thunderstorm activity that we're going to have, and then we don't get out of it until, and again, that's a pretty deep low right there. I'm curious about the winds at that particular point. Let's go here. And it's not really, it's showing the worst winds in New England. I guess maybe because the low is sort of over us, the worst winds kind of just dodge us perhaps. But if we go to 850, let's see how bad it is up there. Because that's where the LLJ is. That's where you look for the LLJ. You go to the 850. It looks like the core of the LLJ goes to the east of us. But there's still an LLJ present, and I think we'll have a better idea tomorrow what's going to happen with that. FGen. We'll do the FGen again. Let's do FGen. For a 700. Nothing too crazy at 700, but let's go to the 850. Because this is where, yeah, see that's just going to park over us tomorrow. It doesn't look that intense, however. So mainly light rain, but again, you're going to have to deal with that wind just blowing it in. It's more of, it looks like the worst of it looks like it happens more into Monday, and it looks like the worst of it would be over New England there. It looks like there's a pretty impressive lift over there. But anyway, let's go look at the dew points and wind flow as we get into Monday. So we finally shut this crap off for Monday. We get into a southwesterly flow, but with drier air. It just shows you how messed up the storm track is, and then what temperatures will be near normal. I guess the highs near normal, maybe still a little bit below. Highs around 60. And clouds, obviously, maybe some cloud buildup in the afternoon. But obviously, we're not seeing the sun all weekend long here. With this, we're going to be socked in with this crap all weekend long. There's no reason to even look at the RGM at this point. I will look at the GFS total accumulated precip to get an idea of how much rain we get. And you'll see generally between that 1 and 2 inches, though some areas could get even more, depending on where those heavier showers and thunderstorms wind up setting up. But yeah, really crappy weekend all in all, and it doesn't look like we're going to get a break from the rain at all. I was hoping we'd get a break tomorrow evening, but the NAM is saying no. HRRR is saying no. I'm going to look at the RGM at this point. And none of the models are saying we're going to get any kind of break at all from it. So unfortunately, we're going to be dealing with this all weekend long. Like I said, it's going to be one of those weekends that you're just going to want to be inside all weekend long. It's just that bad. The rain is just not going to let up. We can look at the HDRPS if you want, which is another model we could show. You can see it just lingers around all day. It just lingers around. It actually gets heavy in the morning and lingers. It just lingers. It finally lifts out, or maybe maybe you'll get a break after like 10 o'clock at night. And then here comes the next batch for Sunday. So we'll have to watch and see what happens. It's very hard to time this all out, but generally speaking, I can only hope that maybe this moves a little faster, but it's because there's a warm front here, and it's stuck. That's what's causing you to have this issue with that warm front stuck there like that. Again, if we go to vent to sky, we can show you we are at temperatures, right? So we'll back this to tomorrow and kind of show you temperatures here. You can sort of make out that warm front right here. All right, so it's kind of stuck right here. So if we go to where the prediction center and you look at tomorrow, we'll move this to tomorrow here, day 2. You'll see. Well, it looks like it's got like an occluded front off to the south. There's a low just to the south of us there. And then if we go to the day 3, there comes that second low that pops up. So it's just a mess is what it is right now. So I'm sorry. This weekend is going to suck. All right. We will make up for the rainfall, but to do it over a whole weekend absolutely sucks. But this is what happens when you have messed up steering currents in the atmosphere, where you have this just literally south to north. You have a trough in the east and the jet stream screaming from south to north. So we have a conveyor of moisture just going up the coast, and that's what we have to deal with. So especially when you're stuck somewhere where you got people burning incense and people smoking weed, and I may just have to go out in the rain, but if I do, I'm going to have to wear boots, because in this kind of rain, Mineola will become a lake. It floods. It'll become a lake. But I do have boots, so hey, that's what you got to do, I guess, if I go out. So we'll have to see what happens. I hate going out in the rain. It's nothing. If you drive and you hate the rain, now take away the car, and you'll really hate the rain even that much more. So but it looks like it's going to linger around. As the Cranberries would say, do you have to let it linger? Can't you just get out of here? Just move through and do your thing and get out of here. No, it's going to ruin our whole weekend, unfortunately. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Thank you for watching. And try to stay dry. I think it's going to be very hard. The only way to stay dry is to not go out at all weekend long. So that's it. Thank you for watching.